This is episode 1704. Welcome to the Daily Meditation Podcast. I'm Mary Meckley, and I am excited to introduce you to a brand new series this week. We're exploring all about renewal. And if you were following along with the New Beginnings series that we explored for most of the month of January, with the exception of last week where we explored love. Prior to that, we explored 4 weeks of launching into a brand new year. Now, this series that I'm sharing with you this week is part of that collection. I have to say, I got ahead of myself last week. I was thinking that we were launching into February last week, and I got my weeks mixed up. So this series is part of the series to launch you into your brand new year. So you could think of this series as a way to launch you into the month of February. And throughout the month of February, after I share this series, we'll continue with our love meditations, exploring different aspects of love. So I thought what I'd do is make this series go along with the New Beginnings series, as well as with the love series. And so what you'll be exploring this week in each episode, you will discover a different meditation technique for strength and renewal. It takes a lot of courage to make big changes, as you did when you launched into this brand new year. And as you begin the second month of the year, you may be finding out a few things about yourself. Maybe you're finding out that some of the things you wanted to pursue in a new year are just not really worth it. You may find that it's not what you really wanted. And sometimes it takes starting something and pursuing it for a while before we realize that. Or you may have found that you started some things and you wish you had started them a long time ago because they are making a big difference in the quality of your life. You may have started a meditation ritual. Meditation is a ritual that requires consistency, showing up for yourself day in and day out. It's your time, and making your time happen can be a challenge. So think of this series as a way to renew and refresh the intentions you set for the new year, as well as any other intentions you have for this month and moving forward throughout the year, and finding strength to do so. I did a little research for this series on how to stay strong and consistent with your goals. And one of the main reasons why people give up on their goals, there are many reasons, but I'm sure you'll agree that one of the main reasons you likely don't pursue things you know that are good for you is because you may feel so distracted. You may feel overwhelmed and stressed and distracted. And that is pretty much an epidemic these days. And when you're feeling this distraction, it's hard to stay focused and to keep your eye on your goal. And I came across an article in prezi.com. It's actually a website. And this article caught my eye because it's called Blur: How to Know What's True in the Age of Information Overload. And it's by Megan Ferguson. And in this article, she talks about 8 essential functions to know whether something is true, if it's authentic, or if it's simply fake news. Now, as I was reading through this, I was pretty intrigued because I think most people would agree that our news sources these days are questionable. And we have access to more information from more sources than ever before that we can use to become better informed. Well, in this article, they talk about how to know what's true in the age of information overload, and how we are each responsible for the way we consume our news. And as I was reading through this, it struck me that it's really no different in day-to-day living and interactions with people around us, including loved ones, when we consider truth. So this also is in regard to yourself. Do you feed your mind fake news? So if you think about the thoughts you think each day, are they true? Or is it an exaggerated response to something? Or is it just completely false? So I'm going to share throughout this series some of the suggestions, the 8 essential functions to determine whether or not something is true and authentic. And this actually requires a new skill set for your brain. So to discriminate between fake news and also emotions you may experience and other different factors in your life, the first skill set is to identify what kind of content you are consuming. So, if you're reading a news article and it's just briefly going over specific events without giving well thought out commentary and different ways to evaluate the information, then it's just information overload. It's sensationalism. It is not going to leave you with a satisfactory feeling, because even when something horrendous happens and you're reading about it, if you could have some kind of understanding from the information to where you could see something from many different angles and some thoughtful commentary, then regardless of how shocking or horrifying the information might be, it satisfies your brain because you're able to evaluate it and process the information and make sense of it. When you're just thrown tidbits of information, so much of it is used to create an emotional response from you, to make you feel insecure, to make you feel that, oh, you need to rely on this specific source of information to know what's going on. So take care where you get your information and just gloss over those articles that do not satisfy your brain's need to evaluate something from many different angles or to give some real insight or commentary to whatever it is you're reading about. And this applies to your life as you create a meditation lifestyle. When you think different thoughts, ask yourself, is this thought constructive? How will this thought impact the rest of my day? Really take note of how you're experiencing your interactions with others and your emotions in general, especially the thoughts you feed your mind. And stop those thoughts in their track when you notice that you're getting off track and not staying focused on what's important. So, as you settle yourself down to get ready to do a meditation technique today to help you to evaluate your thoughts and monitor negative thoughts, know that our full guided meditations are at my Sip and Om meditation app. There you can have access to over 1,700 guided meditations, a new one added each day. And there you go a little more deeply into meditation. So you get a full half-hour guided meditation. You can break off at any point, but you could meditate for the whole half hour, as well as a journal to take you deeper into the series so you can evaluate your thoughts better and reflect on your meditation. And you get a guide with all the different techniques I share with you each day, organized, so you can pick a technique or two and do it when you feel stressed throughout your day to help keep you on track, to help keep you living your truth. So that is where you can find more at the Sip and Om meditation app. As you get ready to meditate today, sit up straight, straighten your spine, and begin to relax your mind and your body. And as you do so, think about your truth today, right now. Are you living your truth? Are the thoughts you're thinking, the way you're approaching your meditation right now, what you're going to do afterwards, what you did before you sat down to meditate? Is this you living your truth? Or are you going from one over sensationalized piece of news or thought that you think to the next? Sit in stillness and focus on what your truth is and honor your truth. You are so worth slowing down for.